But do you guys feel like the Eagles are like under any more pressure than anybody else to make it to the Super Bowl, given the whole Saquon thing?
You have to fill me in. What was the Saquon thing? What happened?
So Saquon was on track to beat Eric Dickerson's single season rushing
Oh
record.
yeah. And yes, yeah, okay, yeah.
They sat him the last game of the season
Yeah.
to be more healthy than the playoffs. I mean, in the playoffs, he had a pretty good game against Green Bay. I don't think anybody will argue.
Yeah, that game was good. Yes.
But it's been 40 years now since Eric Dickerson broke that record. So that shows you how rare it is. Even someone as elite as Saquon and all the other greats we've seen over the years,
He's
LT,
also done it
all those
in
guys.
more games though, right? Didn't Eric Dickerson do it in what, 13 games?
He did
14
like 14, yeah, something like
Yeah. And Saquon's done it in what, or well, 16
that.
games, yeah.
Yeah, 16, 17 games.
Yeah. So
It's still rare. Like it's just like, I mean, and we've seen some great talents. Even LaDainian Tomlinson, they had 16 games, right?
And he was a phenomenal running back.
Chris Johnson, you know what I mean? Like we've seen Adrian Peters, we've seen some all-time great talents, and it's been 40 years since anyone cracked that. And right when it was right there, it was within like 100 or so yards. They sat him. If you don't win the Super Bowl, it almost feels like a waste. No, am I wrong for saying it feels like a waste?
Yeah.
To not have gone out there and tried.
If I was the coach, I wouldn't have sat him because that's something that no one's ever going to be able to, like, you won't be able to do that again next year. You may not be able to do that again ever in the rest of your career because what, Saquon Barkley's been in the league 5 years now, something to that effect.
Yeah, like 6-7 years.
Oh, okay, so 6-7 years. So that actually makes my case even better because does he have another 7 years left? Like, I don't think so. Just because running backs, they take a lot of beatings and stuff. They're really not in there for that long. So if there was ever a time to capitalize on an opportunity, it was previously.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Honestly, I think part of the reason why they sat him, the more popular sports betting gets, like I think they knew that a lot of people were going to make a lot of money off him breaking that record because he would have gone out there and gotten it done.
Valid point. Yeah.
I feel like the more I see, I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but I just think it doesn't really make sense for them to sit him when he's about to break a record. Like, I understand.
We'll break that down a little bit more because I'm not totally clear what you mean the sports betting. Like, explain that a little bit more.
Vegas made the call.
Vegas made the call, but how does Vegas lose if he goes out there and does like? Doesn't the house always win?
Not always. I mean, think about it. You have millions of people betting on Saquon to break this record to get however many plus rushing yards, and a lot of people profit off of that. A lot of people had him to score a touchdown, and that on that ticket that voids, and I feel like you kind of know that to some degree that Saquon's going to break that record one way or another. He's going to go out there and do his damnedest to get those 100 so yards that he needed to break that record. If everybody is banking on that to do that, they lose out on money because everyone's placing that bet. He does it, they win.
Oh, so you're not talking about the week-to-week bettors. You're saying the people that like put the bets out a few months back or like at a different point in the season saying, hey, I think he's on mark to do it. I'm going to go ahead and put the bet. You're saying those people that were standing to win,
not necessarily. I mean, everyone that wanted to place a bet that day too, because I think a lot of people became hip to like I at one point I wasn't aware that he was about to break that record. So, Sunday comes, I'm like, oh shit, he's about to break the record. Let me take him for 125 plus rushing yards or whatever it was, So
yeah,
everyone was betting that, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, we don't know if we're gonna play him. And again, like I understand preserving him for the playoffs and making sure he's 100% to go, but if he's not injured, then why aren't you letting him play to beat that record to make history? Like to his point, like you don't know when he's gonna have that opportunity again. And again, like I feel like there's been a huge spike in sports betting, and now a lot of people can profit off of these things, and they're like, whoa, we don't want to give out all this money and let that happen. Again, not a conspiracy theorist, but I just think it's weird. Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
No, you're right. I mean, because I was gonna piggyback off of that and bring up the same thing with LeBron breaking the all-time scoring record. Like that was gonna be the same thing, people placing bets on the game that he's gonna do it and making all that money.
I remember Russell Westbrook a couple months back was about to beat the triple-double record, I think, or something, and I forget exactly what happened, but I know everybody was like, oh, he's going to do it tonight. Like he's going to be chasing it. And he didn't. And it's just like, that's not that that's not like him, but it was just like, they're watching him blatantly not grab rebounds that should clearly be his.
So he can have his own people even put up his own money and be like, I bet I'm not going to do it.
You could. And
I bet you I won't. I bet you my ankle gonna roll in the second quarter.
That's exactly what happened to Jontay Porter. He had people placing bets on himself for his unders. Who the hell is betting on Jontay Porter? Nobody. So when you have 50,000, 100,000 people placing unders on somebody who nobody's placing bets on a regular night.
That's what happened with that guy?
Yes. There was too many people placing bets on him for his unders, and he leaves in the middle of the game to go into the bathroom like, I hit my eye, I'm not going back in. You catch. And he got caught up because he was sloppy with it. I don't know all the details, whether he was using his own FanDuel account, his own social security number, but somebody that he knew or something was placing bets on his unders. And the numbers were wild. It was like one game, like maybe 3 people in the world are betting on Jontay Porter. The next 50,000, like that doesn't happen.
You're putting me on to new. Go ahead, Abby, because I know you gamble too. Go ahead.
No, I mean she's right. There's like players that can beat like world record or like a record and they don't hit. And it's like, why wouldn't it hit? It makes sense to hit.
Right.
And like she said, it's a theory. You got to think about it when you're sports betting. It's a possibility they will break this record, or it's a possibility they can't. So there was a TikTok where there's like a scene of where I forgot who the guy is in NFL. It seems like a very important guy, and Saquon Barkley throws himself on the ground rather than running the ball. And it's like, why did he do that? Like, why didn't he just continue?
Oh, yeah. Are you guys familiar with? Go ahead.
I know what she's talking about, and I saw a couple mixed opinions on that because some people are like, Saquon's the type of person that's like, there's no need for me to keep running and score this touchdown right now. But there was also damn near everyone in the country betting on him to score a touchdown that day.
I was a better.
That's why you remember it.
And he slides with an open lane to the end zone, and everyone was like, "What? Like, why wouldn't he keep going? That was Vegas." Blah 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 blah. So there are these kind of like conspiracy theories. However, it's like the type of person that Saquon is. I remember there was one game he got out early, and he could have gone back in. The Eagles were blowing a team out, and he said, "Let the younger guys get a chance." And so there's that slippery slope because that's just the type of person that Saquon is. There's no need for me to go and get this touchdown. We're already winning. We're already going to win. There's 22 seconds left on the clock. Why am I running to the end zone? So
he's, to a certain degree, he's a selfless guy. He's not a dick.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, was this Vegas or was this Saquon being Saquon?
I will say the one thing is with Saquon, because he is selfless, like you said, he's not a dick. I do feel like at some point, though, you got to be that guy because, to be fair, just looking at what happened, let's not forget why he's in Philly. That same selfless, nice guy attitude had the Giants keep pushing him off, franchise tagging him, to where we were thankful and gracious enough by the football gods to get that Hard Knocks footage of the owner kicking himself in the ass once they realized he left. But that nice guy, selfless, I'm for the team thing also can get you screwed out of contracts in this business. And he is an aging running back. The mileage on his legs and knees are high, pause. And I feel like when you're going into a contract negotiation, if you don't have a Super Bowl ring under your belt, those records damn sure are going to help. Granted, film don't lie. Men lie, women lie, film don't lie. If you still got it, you still got it. But I do think it does help with negotiating, and then it also helps when it's all said and done and you talk about your legacy. Eric Dickerson is being brought. His name's being brought back into play 40 years later. Abby, did you know who Eric Dickerson was at the beginning of this football season?
No.
Thank you. So that's how that effect can have on your overall legacy. So at some point, the selfless thing, the nice guy thing is all cool. Yo, we get it. You got to start doing what's best for Saquon because it's a vicious league you in. It's still the entertainment business, my friend.